So, have you thought about yourself thinking like, well, uh, I'm obviously entertaining, but I don't know whether it's gonna hurt my business. Was it this
Yeah,
kind of thought at
yeah.
all?
I haven't had something that's popped up that has been damaging to explicitly damaging to
Hmm.
me, right?
Yeah.
I've probably crossed the line at times, and I probably offended people. I know I've offended people at times, and I know there's inevitably people that dislike me because of something I've done or said. Right? That's just sort of the way it works. But I would say that I recognized what I was doing along the way, and I was going in eyes wide open, and I was. It's not a character because a character implies that it's disingenuous from who you are. I
Hmm.
would say I was only surfacing one part of my personality, one part of my sense of humor, one part of my interests. Right? I was only surfacing not getting 100% of a character or view of myself, but hopefully throughout the following that people had, or as they got to know my style, they could understand that there was a depth beneath, like the joke.
Obviously.
A joke might seem simple and funny, but hopefully they recognize that there's um, serious thought and intelligence that went into that, right? And there's a level of relatability that, hey, I don't take myself too seriously, and at the end of the day, I just want to do well by the entrepreneurs I work with and the people that give us money, right? And so that was what I was hoping to convey. I think it's been mostly, I mean, almost universally successful for me. I can't say that there aren't some things I wish I could take back or whatever it is, but it's definitely been a benefit. And so it was to some extent accidental. And then once it started snowballing, I recognized what the opportunity was, to some extent what the trade-offs were, and it allowed me to at least go in eyes wide open with what I was doing, what I was thinking about.
Did it help your business as a VC? Did you get a lot of
I
work?
would say where it helped, it's hard to say, like, I don't know if I could point specifically to X deal that only would have happened because of Twitter, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
I can say that the number of meetings I have that start with, oh, I follow you on Twitter, or oh, I'm a big fan of your Twitter, or oh, yeah, I would love an intro from an investor. I know him from Twitter, or whatever it is, right? That's been pretty high. It's probably a third or half of the conversations or intros I have is some level of familiarity with that. And now increasingly some percentage of people listening to the podcast we put out. And so it's hard to say like very specific, hey, this is the benefit I've got from it. The good news is our business model is I just need either one for it to be worth it, right?
Yeah.
Or I just need to feel like I'm making progress to the future, consistently towards the future, and that I will be better suited as a investor, as a board member, as a partner to entrepreneurs, as a steward of our LP's capital in the future because of whatever I'm doing. And I feel like from that calculation, it's a pretty easy one that, like, I feel like being known is better rather than not. I feel like being known to have a sense of humor is better than not. I think, being out there and having people have familiarity with you through whatever medium is just goodness. And so, yeah, so that was kind of how I thought about it. And I think it's proven beneficial
How often do you type a tweet and then like, no, it's a bad idea?
all the
Things like
time.
that.
Yeah, for a long time, I had a couple of buddies that I still will do it sometimes, that I'll send a tweet to before I send it and just say, like, I want to make sure that I'm walking a line of, I want to be joking, but not mean spirited. And I
Yeah.
definitely at times will cross that line, but I try not to. I also want to be funny. And, sometimes I think something's funny just in my head, but someone will be like, oh, no, that's not funny. And so I'll send that along as well, just to validate if it's on the line for me. And then my drafts are filled with ideas that I'm like, oh, either they're half baked or they're kind of funny, but I need to, I just never felt good enough about pressing send on them. So that happens all the time.
So isn't there like a service where VCs hire a bunch of comedians to tweet for them? Be honest.
I don't know if there is that service. We have not yet employed that. We are actually are just to give a quick plug. We do have some content that we're putting out through Twitter on the Redpoint channel, as well as on Instagram Reels, as well as on TikTok. We have a group that actually works with us to come up with some of those ideas, and so and a lot of them are or a lot of them, there's like three of them, but they are very funny people. And so that some of those ideas are actually, we kind of crowdsource and we come up with what the best of people are thinking about. But yeah, I have yet to have anyone actually writing all my tweets for me or anything like that.
But to be fair, I think some people do use others, because sometimes I've even noticed the difference how they used to be, and then suddenly they got sense of humor. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, comedians get paid a lot worse than venture capitalists, I would say, true. And so it's not totally surprising to me that a VC would want to be liked and could come up with some financial arrangement with a writer to help them. So that doesn't shock me.